Hey guys, welcome back. I'm really glad you're here because today we are going to be making, I believe it's pronounced Unomi cups. We're just gonna make one. It's a traditional Japanese like teacup. I'm really excited, so let's get right into it. Let's wake up our clay. We're giving it some slaps here. Let's go ahead and knead it. So let's push down and forward. We're just gonna push down and forward, get this clay all kneaded and ready to go. Until you get the cute, this is a cute little monkey face. He's just a little guy. But let's keep going. There we go. You know, I'm really excited about this project because when I was 5 years old, I actually went to Japan. And I remember not until we were leaving Japan, we were at the airport there in Tokyo. And we stopped at this ramen place, and it was the best ramen I've ever had. And if you know me, I love top ramen of all things. Obviously, Japan ramen's way better. Whoops, we need some water. Look at that. Got some water. Okay, yes, the ramen was so good, and I was only 5, and I still remember it. All right, so let's go ahead and get this guy slapped on there, because we're gonna make a cute little teacup. All right, so add some water, get your hands wet. Stay a while. We're gonna push in and up and kind of create more of a cone shape with this guy. Please leave in the comments if you've ever been to Japan. I was only in like the Tokyo area, and I just remember as a kid, we went to like the Imperial Palace, or the Emperor's Palace, I can't remember. But there's some signs apparently that I didn't see, and I was 5 years old, that said, keep off the grass. And they said it in Japanese and English. And I remember like it was the first time that I found grass while we were there, because I'm so used to playing in grass. Now we're just gonna center it. We're just gonna slowly push down. Don't forget to angle that hand in there. So anyways, I was so excited to play in the grass because I'm like, wow, there's finally grass here. Because we were there for a good couple weeks visiting my grandparents. They were mission presidents for our church over there. So we got to have some fun with them. But go to the Emperor's Palace, the Imperial Palace, and I get yelled at by these Japanese guys in Japanese, like, Japanese are saying, get off the grass. And I was so scared they were gonna take me to jail. I remember crying, and I was like, it's okay. Okay, now we're gonna compress this. Now notice I'm using a lot less clay than we normally use. There's a good reason for that, because these teacups aren't usually the biggest pieces of pottery, which is great. So we're gonna dig a hole. You know, that story kind of reminds me of when my mom, we went to, so when I was little, it was funny. Like, my hair was so white. Like, it was so white. And apparently I was a pretty cute kid because I had glasses, like Harry Potter status. And people would, like, stop us in the street to, see me and my hair and whatnot. All right, we're gonna hold our hands and pull that clay towards ourselves, like that. So apparently in Japan, you don't see very many like towhead kids, super blonde kids. My hair was like white. It wasn't even just blonde, like it was white. And so there we are in Tokyo, Japan, in Disneyland. My parents took me and my older sister Whitney to Disneyland, and I kid you not, we couldn't go anywhere without all these Japanese people, guys and girls, mostly older ladies and stuff, wanting to feel my hair because they didn't believe it was like real. It was pretty funny. They were so friendly over there. And then I remember, okay, before I tell you the next story, let's go ahead and angle these walls in now that the bottom's nice and compressed. And we actually might need to angle these walls in like a lot because we're making a teacup. So the base, we don't want it like super, super wide. Oh my gosh. It just tore. Oh, I don't even know what to say. Okay. We're improvising. You know those little Japanese dishes? Like just the tiny little plates that, you know, your little soup spoon or something can go in. We're gonna make one of those. And then we're gonna make the Unomi cup. Goodness, I just got totally carried away. All right, we're gonna push down and in. Look at that. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Don't cry over ripped apart pieces of pottery. Oh man, this is gonna be a stretch. No pun intended. Okay, so actually, you know what's funny? This could almost be like a little shot glass or a tiny Japanese cup. So I'm just gonna push out and then up. So I'm like stretching it. There we go. Okay, it's getting pretty thin, so I need to be a little careful. Wow, look at that. Just put the sponge in there and see what happens. Okay, look how thin that's getting. I'm gonna use this guy to very gently smooth this out. So it really needs some help. And I'm keeping the tip down at the base to help support it. Okay. Maybe we'll come in here like this. Use that round edge. Okay, that didn't work as best I thought it would. Wow, this is gonna be a really thin plate. Okay, not bad. Maybe let's take this guy in here. So we're gonna support it on the outside. Wow, look at that. The clay is so thin. It's like, why are you stretching me this far? Because we need to do it for our people who are watching this. We can't just fail. We're not gonna fail, we're gonna learn. Look at that. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there for this guy because that's about as far. Oh look, I'm touching it again. I lied. Okay, now let's take this guy, put that down and in like that. Okay, so we still got some time. We still got some time. Wow, look at that. Okay, this might be kind of fun. That's like super. Wow, I cut into that way more than I thought. We're gonna smooth this out. Look at that, we're just gonna join that clay. I honestly don't know if it could go any wider if it wanted to. All right, now we got a little tiny cup. So let's go ahead. We're just gonna heat it up real quick, see what happens. This will dry out so fast, you guys. You have no idea. But hey, check that out. Now before I really destroy it, let's cut this guy off the wheel. So remember, hold it tight. We're just gonna slide that through. It's gonna cut itself off the wheel like that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Okay, I need this little plate. This is dangerous. Okay, there we go. All right, we're gonna let this guy dry. This is cool. It's like a little plate there. Okay, now let us get all that water off the wheel there so we can knead another piece of clay. Thanks to these hair dryers, look at that. Haha, here we go. We're on a roll. Look, I just went straight to it because it's still a little wet. I figured, you know what, it'll be fine. All right, let's go ahead and get that wet. You know me cup. I gotta learn how to say that. You know me cup. Maybe it'll come to me. All right, we're gonna kind of, well, we're not gonna rush it because then you know what'll happen. Got exhibit A right there. We're all centered up. Let's go ahead and dig this little hole here. This time, I think where I went wrong, you guys, it's important. Like, think, where did you go wrong? What can we learn from this? I think I went too wide last time, so I'm just gonna gently push to right about there. That's probably good. Take this guy. Let's just compress the bottom real quick. Not too quick though. We don't want to make more mistakes. Slow down to go fast. It's like in Cars when he's like, turn right to go left, you know, to drift. It's like one of those things. Just slow down. Because if you slow down, then you'll actually make it out with a piece. Or you can improvise like I did. Uh-oh. I can sense the same thing is happening. I went a little wide. So, there's no need to fear. Tyler's gonna go slow here. I'm not gonna try and force it too much. Just a little bit. Just enough. There we go. There we go. Feel it out. All right, let's get rid of this junk on the outside. That's what kind of like messed us up before. Okay. Get that a little wet. We're gonna make this Japanese styled teacup. We actually have quite a bit of clay here, so it might be pretty big. But remember, it does shrink in the kiln, so you can always like weigh out your clay too if you want to like be super consistent. But since we're just doing one, it's not that big of a deal. All right, let's go ahead and bring this up. So we're just gonna push down on that outside. I'm gonna kind of roll my inside hand like this. Because the pictures that I saw of this cup, it's almost like a V shape in a way, which is like one of my favorite shapes to make. And I'm just gonna push down and in. Look at that. We're just gonna go up and out, which is different from what we've done in the past. Check that out. All right. It's gonna be a tall teacup. But hey, the great thing is we'll have a lot of room to decorate, because in this video or episode, we're gonna introduce carving. Okay? But we're actually gonna do it. We're gonna do a few carvings right now while it's wet. And then we're gonna sgraffito. And I'll show you what that means when we glaze it. All right, that's looking pretty great. Smooth out the bottom there. Okay, you guys, we're recovering. Okay, we can do this. So let's go ahead and just trim off a little bit of that clay down there. Now, as far as like Japanese style, you know, I'm not Japanese, but I love Japan. I love ramen. I want to go back and eat some more of that ramen. It was so good. Especially on a cold day like today. It's a little chilly to be springtime. All right, so what I think we should do is do like these sharp edges, kind of like samurai swords. So first of all, let's make this shape down here. Like that, okay, I like that. And then smooth this out with our finger. I like that. And then we could even come in here like this. Just slowly push the clay onto this guy. Because then you can kind of hold it, you know? God, I love that. We could even come in like this, be a little more aggressive with it. I'm just thinking like a samurai's, like straight edge, you know? And it's kind of hard because we're on a wheel. Oh, that's looking cool. It kind of looks like the rooftops of, you know, the homes in that Imperial Palace I was telling you about. They come out like that. I'm gonna do one more thing down here. Look at that. Oh, I'm loving this. I'm loving it. See, it was that piece of clay. I told you, I was like, I should have used him. He just wanted to come out of the bag and play. Look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. Let's give this a nice smooth out the top, but we're gonna keep it square up here. Do you see that? We're kind of like these samurai jagged edges. I love that shape. Okay, I'm gonna clean off my hands. And let's go ahead. You know the next step. We're gonna dry this guy out. So. I think I know what I want to do on the outside. So with these Unomi cups, or the Japanese teacups, you can do, I'm actually going to take this guy. I saw that they carved stuff into it. So like one thing I really wanted to do was carve kind of like this circle in the side, kind of like the Japanese flag. And then like a big circle around it. Probably could have, oh, whoops. That's okay. Just smooth that out. Little happy accident right there. There we go. These are pretty deep, you know. Ooh, that's kind of cool. It almost looks like an egg now. But hey, it's art. It can be whatever you want it to be. Then I just want to smooth that out with my finger. Some of you are probably like, dude, that is so ugly. But hey, I think it's beautiful. Really, we'll see when it gets out of the kiln. You don't know what I'm planning, but those lines were just the beginning. Now I know where I carved, so I can come back with this guy and see what that does. Ho ho. Then we're gonna go in the inside. Okay. There we go. Looks like I need some water on here. You know, I honestly didn't know where I was going to go with this entirely, but I'm kind of digging it. Because look, we can just smooth this out. Hey, that's kind of cool. Almost looks like a sushi roll. A little crater in there. Wow. That's kind of cool. Okay, now the only other thing I really wanted to do is some like samurai sword kind of like angles. So I'm gonna take this guy, just go like that, and then do it over here on this side too. Just go like this. And then let's just take our finger with a little bit of water because I don't want to change it too much. I really like the jagged edge. Okay. Voila. Okay, I love that. Let's go ahead. It's a little different, but hey, that's all good. Heat this up. Turn this off and let's feel, oh yeah, that's great. That's perfect. I'm so happy with how this turned out. Can't wait to glaze it. Okay, hold tight, push down, and we're just gonna slowly slide through. Please don't go through the bottom. It is thin, that puppy is thin. Okay. Now, remember, we just kind of want to pull it up and roll kind of in a circle. I'm just going right to it, you guys. I'm not even getting the plate. I'm just gonna smooth that out. Look at that. Okay. Haha! Karate, wax on, wax off. Except the sponge. Fun fact, did you know I'm a black belt in karate? Maybe next time I'll have to wear it so you believe me. But I am a black belt in karate. I started when I was like 4. And then I actually quit when I was like 14. But my dad said, you can't quit until you get your black belt. So I said, okay. And so anyways, that was also another reason why I was so excited to go to Japan, because you literally, like, I heard the karate guys like yelling on the rooftops, you know, as they were practicing their stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and sign it. So many good memories over there. Oh, I was gonna tell you, my sister and I, when we were staying with my grandparents over there, they had these like waffle ice cream sandwiches that had like vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. They were so good. Okay, look at that. Okay, let me get the plate so we can get the full effect here. This guy to the side. I think that's a cute little duo. What do you think? Tell me in the comments below. Oh, sorry. Let me turn that. How cool is that? Okay. I think we're ready for the kiln. Did I ever smooth this out? I don't think I did, you guys. We only have a few minutes left. Actually, a few seconds left. Smooth that out. Sign it. Oh, golden. All right, let's get this in the kiln. Check it out. They are bisqued, and we are ready to go ahead and glaze them. Now today we've got this lemon color from Penguin Pottery Supplies that we're going to apply to the inside and the outside. However, we're gonna mix in a little bit of tan tweed on some of our little designs. Now we're gonna be using our 1 1/4 inch, of course, as always, and then we'll be using these guys right here. And so let's just get right into it, shall we? So first things first, let's go ahead and get this lemon going. Now, I already mixed it. I added a little bit of water, so it was a little bit more liquidy, so we could start off. Now, what I want to do is let's start. I really love doing the base first. Now, what we're gonna do is do basically this bottom part. Oof, Getting a little close to the bottom there, Tyler. Starting off strong. All right. Let's go ahead and do this. This just really helps us define where we want our bottom line. And we just kind of have to be a little bit more cautious when we're doing this part right here, because we want a nice line on the bottom. See how that kind of fades a little bit? We need a good amount of glaze. So I'm gonna just put a little wave of glaze right there. And then we could come back, stroke into it. You see that okay? Like that. Now that's a nice thick line we know is at least a couple coats, if not 3. Come back to it. Super creative too. Because what it does, it keeps the bottom from getting glazed, of course. But then we can also, once we have the bottom done, then we can be a little bit more carefree, which is always super fun. Look at that. Just go right to it. Got our first layer done. Just that fast. Now, for this project, we're also going to be cautious of the top, because I have an idea for the rim. And so I will show you that in just a sec, but we're gonna kind of put our fingers in here and clench the bowl so that we can paint right up to that rim. Just right up to that rim. See, we gotta be just a little cautious up to the rim. But we can kind of play down here freely, which is kind of nice. Kind of nice. Oh yeah, that's looking really good. So being just nice and cautious at the top. But hey, don't feel like if you get it on the rim and stuff that you've messed up and you can't, you know, follow along. Everything has a uniqueness to it, right? Just keep going. Don't get hung up there. We've got so much more to do. So just keep glazing. There we go. Because really, this is all a nice little experiment. As long as we get 2 to 3 coats where we need to, we're gonna be able to drink out of this cute little, you know me, teacup. All right, I'm just gonna do one more layer just for kicks and giggles, you know, because I'm paranoid. I need to learn to just let go. Practice what I preach. Practice what I preach. Okay, that's looking sweet. All right, let's go ahead and do the same on the outside of this little guy. This was a happy little accident, wasn't he? I'm just gonna come in like that. Now, these smaller ones with a bigger brush can be a little tricky. Just don't get it on the very bottom. But if you do, no big deal. No big deal whatsoever. Because we can just clean that off with a sponge. No problem. No problem at all. There we go. We're coming up a little high on the rim here, more than I'd like to, but let's just roll with it. Let's see what happens. Roll the dice. See what happens. All right, now that that's a little dry, I can move to this part. So just gonna get that all nice and good to go here. We get a little bit more thickness on here and draw a little bit more of a line down here. Yeah, because then it really looks like it's intentional. We're not just making things up, even though we really are. Well, I mean, not making, we're just being creative. That's what I call it. The creative process. All right, it's looking great. Now, I just had an idea for this guy. But that's gonna have to hold off because we need to do the inside of this guy. So it's really important that we definitely get our 3 coats in here because we're gonna be drinking out of this, okay? Now, I'm gonna be very cautious here because guess what we're going to do on the rim? Oh, look, there's a little drop. I kind of like it. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave the little drop because this is about letting go and just being creative. Look at that. It actually might turn out super cool because we're gonna put tan tweed up there. And I think these colors should merge a little bit. I mean, we're looking at red and yellow. Like those are pretty, it's a pretty vast difference. All right, here's our second slash, you could almost classify this as a third coat. It's pretty thick in there. So maybe what we'll do is we'll do the tan tweed here in just a second. What I'd like to do with this guy, instead of doing yellow on the inside, let's go ahead and let's do it on the rim. But then let's do the tan tweed on the inside. You guessed it, my friend. You guessed it. So I have a little too much glaze on my brush for this particular part. There we go. All right. Now, just so that we can finish all the way, let's go ahead and put one more coat on the inside, this yellow, just to be safe. Just to be safe here. Okay. Oh yeah, this is gonna be safe to eat out of. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, take the brush and just kind of go around the circle there. It's okay if we pop up a little bit. We're all here for the party. Okay, it's looking almost too fine. Maybe a little too much paint on my brush. Okay, that's looking great. Now, let's go ahead, try and scrape off some of that extra glaze because, you know, we like to get the most out of it. Put that down. All right, now that we're done with the yellow lemon, let's break out the tan tweed. I'm excited for this one. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's take this guy. He's a little bit bigger. And let's finish this little guy real quick. Look how fast that dries. Holy cow. Now, let's go ahead and do the top part. See, we're just gonna be super careful. Brush up against that rim. Again, if you get some up there that you didn't mean to, it's all good. We're just here to have some fun. Just relax a little. Enjoy the party. Oh wow, check that out. That is awesome. So the way to do that is you just get a ton of glaze on your brush and then bend it to the line and drag. That'll give you that nice line that you're looking for. Oh, wow. This part is actually really freaking fun. Okay, I've got this little splotch up there. I'm just going to be a little bit more strategic on. There we go. Got him. Oh, there's another one. The neighbor popped up. There we go. There's another one. My goodness. There we go. Got the rim. I also got a little bit up here, so I'm going to embrace that and put a little bit on the rim there. Perfect. And now let's do the inside just one more time. Make sure to get plenty of coats. Now we might do one more coat, but we need this to dry, so let's set that down. Let's take a look here. I want to do some tan tweed up in here. Now this is totally fine as long as the glaze is dry. Look, we're going to do a dot, so we're just going to slowly kind of turn. Now, I've got too much glaze on there. I can already tell. Actually, let's throw it back on there because we're going to do a circle. So we're just going to start there and gently come around. Oh, wow, look at that. Okay, I kind of like that. It's a lot thicker than I thought it would be. But if we round that out somewhat, look, looks nice and intentional. All right, now before we do these little samurai guys, let's do the rim. Now the easiest way to do this is just kind of angle the brush like this with a lot of glaze. Just go over it. Just like that. Oh, that's going to be so cool. It looks a lot cooler now, too, because, oh, I accidentally touched that with my finger. Whoops. Just put a little bit of glaze there. No big deal. There we go. All right, now let's do this little circle guy one more time, just to make sure it's nice and smooth. And then come back up here. Look how fast that already dried. We'll be a little bit more careful this time, and then I need to go back this way to get that. Sometimes you need to glaze both ways just to get what you're looking for. See, there's, okay, look at that. See how there's white right there? Just really get your brush in there. I'm just kind of going down and to the side. And I love how that's like dripping down in a way. You never know what it's going to look like in the kiln or after you take it out of the kiln. Wow, I love it. I keep touching that little guy. Must be a lot of glaze on there. Okay, that's looking great. Let's scrape off some of that glaze that we can. That down. Now for the super intense part. Where did our little brush go? It's right there. I think I see it. Okay. So we got this tiny little guy. And what I want to do, we'll dip it in that glaze, and then we're just going to go find that crack and go down. Oh, yes. Go down. And then when we come down, we're just going to lift off. Go a little deeper. Okay, now let's do it to this other side. Just pick a spot and go down. Go down. Go could go over it too, over and over again like this. Look at that. We're just gonna go down. Kind of made it a little more thick, but hey, we're just having fun, right? Okay, let's go down one more time on this one. Oh, I like it. It's getting a little messy, which I like that. Art is messy in a good way. Shoot, look at that. It is all ready to go in the kiln. So let's take this guy, make sure to close the caps there. Let me grab this from the right angle. Wow, look at that. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and throw these in the kiln for glaze fire and see how they turn out. Whew, check that out. Okay, we've got the lemon color with a little bit of tan tweed, and you can see the little dots from the tan tweed in there. And I love this two-tone. You know, there's so many different things you can do with glaze. But hey, let's not forget the little happy accident, okay? Look at this little guy. Perfect for some dipping sauce, whatever you want, right? So anyways, thank you guys so much. Seriously, thank you so much for joining us here on this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Now let's see him spinning in action, shall we? There you have it. Have a great day, everyone.